Brian Windhorst mentioned the idea that LeBron might not finish with the Lakers. It's the first time that I have seen that mentioned. He has gotten everything that he wanted out of Los Angeles. All of it. Like, obviously, you'd like more winning, more championships, but the idea that he won there once, that he dedicated the last
there
part.
It is. And Dan, he won there twice. You're already forgetting the IST.
In-season tournament,
I'm
Dan.
not counting that one.
What? It's a banner.
Do you need a water?
I probably do, but better for all my producers to just laugh at me.
We'll bring
as
you
I
some
fall
help.
apart.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, here comes Amin El Hassan.
Oh, that'll help.
Yeah. He's always there for you.
But it's good.
Mid-segment, too. Never derails.
It's good
At
timing.
least you don't sound like this anymore.
LeBron James.
I'm Dan. I know every animal's blood.
I know every animal's blood.
I mean,
Kermit the Frog in it?
LeBron James and the Lakers.
Yes.
You expect what from that team the rest of the year? You expect what from the rest of his Laker career?
How long is his Laker career going to last?
Well, I'm asking you that too.
Oh, my God. What a question. We're being salacious today, folks. How long is LeBron James going to remain a Laker?
Well, he's not going to be the oldest player in the league and be 500. Like, that's not going to go without tension. He's not going to be okay with being mediocre, not being in the conversation when he's been in the conversation for 20 years and this team doesn't look good enough to do anything.
Yeah, I think this is a weird team. I don't think they're good. I said that in the offseason when they made all these acquisitions and all this money invested. I said, these guys are not, for instance, you threw a lot of money at Gabe Vincent, who Gabe Vincent was a critical part of a Miami Heat run to the finals. Gabe Vincent also wasn't that great during the regular season. Did not shoot well.
No. Got hot.
He got hot at the right time. And so, but they paid him like he's the playoff version of himself. Now,
he was always good defensively.
Yes, always been good defensively. But in terms of the scoring and the shooting, the part where he looked unstoppable, like against the Knicks and stuff, that's not who he is. But he's been hurt, so it doesn't really matter. But even if he weren't hurt, I don't think he'd be what they paid him to be.
This isn't the usual passive-aggressive. And again, the Hourglass was a DraftKings promotion, and that was part of the plan to get people talking about him and then hit them with the DraftKings partner news. But if he wants to still be considered one of, if not the best piece on a possible championship team, it's either turning it around this season with the Lakers or being traded before this year's deadline. He's at an age where we don't see people perform the way that he is right now. And I wouldn't put it past him to do so next year, but every time that he does, he is establishing a new watermark for that age and the productivity. So I think it's not ridiculous to entertain him actually being someone that could be moved at the deadline if he wants to actually win another one.
I think trading LeBron is the ultimate, you can't win situation. Especially trading LeBron when he has an option on next year is even bigger. No one's going to want to give up anything because you have no idea. This guy's starting to
No one's going to want to give up anything for a major draw for half a season.
Look,
no one's going to want to give up anything for half a season of just the commerce of I get to see LeBron
about an
play.
Untradeable piece, someone that's not even allowed to be in trade discussions, someone that is, quote, untouchable, like Duncan Robinson.
Dan, we're not talking about the Charlotte Hornets acquiring him. We'll do it for the ticket sales or the Atlanta Hawks. We're talking about a team that gives him an opportunity to win. And so when we look at those teams, like the Knicks, the Heat.
That one scares me, him going to the Knicks.
Does it scare you?
It scares me. Because they're good enough, and they need someone just like him that'll make Jalen Brunson clearly the second best player. I think they go through in the East if they make that acquisition. I sincerely hope they don't.
What's the give if you're the Knicks, right? What's the give?
I don't really know what they give up to get him. Probably find a way to get out of Julius Randle's contract to make them match up. But I think also for LeBron, you did it in Cleveland, won there, meant the world. You did it in Miami as the villain. You did it in Los Angeles. Can you imagine? He already has this really super complicated legacy because we usually see people do it all in one or two uniforms. If he goes ahead and does one in New York, again, altering the math, where one title to that market means the world, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We know that the only other place I could say where you could do that and it would blow everyone's mind is the Clippers, right? We talked about this years ago when Kobe was a free agent. It's like, you want to really piss everybody off, go to the Clippers. Go there and win.
God, the NBA is dying for him to go to the Knicks. Can you imagine?
I in a weird way, I don't want that to happen because I want the Knicks to see this thing out. They're on the right path. Like, just don't nick it up. Don't nick it up by trying shortcut. Let's do it this way.
Do you think acquiring a 39-year-old LeBron James is
crazy?
Quote,
What
nicking
he's
it
saying,
up?
what you're saying is crazy to me.
That's
Like
He's so really good.
You cannot be saying with a straight face that the Knicks have arrived in a position where they can decline. Hey, we don't want or need LeBron James. Why, Chris Cody, couldn't you finish the segment 2 more minutes as Amin's
he
chair?
lost his legs from power walking.
Yeah, it was all that walking earlier, Dan.
I feel him clenching.
I don't think you're going to like that the entire international audience sees that you have Reebok brand underwear.
Yeah,
I don't believe
he took that break to fix it because it's gone now. Dangerous game.
The funniest part was he comes up to me and he whispers, and then he just goes under the table like, "Whoa, what's happening here?" The audio audience.
Well, you were on your knees. Why were you on your knees doing the segment?
Why was I on my knees?
Why didn't you bring a chair in here in the
Why
middle
you
of the
needed
segment?
relief? He was there to help you out, man.
Like, I got on the mic immediately. Did you want me to stop, pause, walk around the table, grab? No, you're welcome, Dan Le Batard.
You know what? That is the wrong reaction. Get me the sound of Bomani choking during a segment the way that I was. He hates that sound, says Chris Cody as the
He really
chair.
does.
Okay, but I mean, it just happened to me, and I'm using the context of I was saying help me in some form, and what I get is Amin comes in here and is on his knees, and then Chris is a chair for Amin. The idea that LeBron James would be available the second half of the season, I mean, is a bit crazy to me. And yet, I don't think it's ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous for the Lakers to be in a tough spot with this because their team's not very good.
If you're the Lakers, you have to ride it till the wheels fall off. You cannot, unless he comes into your office and says, "Get me out of here," you cannot entertain even for a second trading him.
But what he's going to come into the office and say is, "Get me more pieces," right?
That's a different story, and maybe Anthony Davis is that name.
Do you agree with Stugotz that LeBron is a looter and a riot?
At this point, yeah, they're not good.
What?